Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Tuesday, October the 15th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions you may have for me, you can use this email address, a link to get into our free room. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our free room. I open the room every morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That's when I get live on the mic and share my screen, and I go up to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. In the email you're getting, you will see a promo code for 15% off either the first month only or the entire year of a Trade Ideas subscription. Well, I guess not so fast on the low floaters on the move or low float mania, as I said yesterday. So this one, PSTV, well, first of all, let's take a look at the ones from yesterday. How are they doing today? So there's the BIMI, big collapse, okay? So this had no follow through, an astonishing move yesterday, okay? But unfortunately, it wasn't a second day continuation. Like the SES, that had 2 days. You know, if I go back, this was the first day, huge day, second day, even bigger. And now it's had the big collapse, okay? So BIMI, unfortunately, did not have the second day continuation, which is what you'd like to see on these low floaters, just to give people the confidence that these things, have some legs, at least for a couple of days. Not so much to hold them overnight, but then looking for the next one. So the next one was PSTV. Or it could have been PSTV. And now it didn't do too badly. PSTV has about 388,000 in the float. Now, some websites might show about 1 million or 700,000. Sometimes it's very difficult to get a handle on these ones that have done reverse splits on what the actual float size is. The bottom line is, it's a low float situation. So I was telling everybody in the room to keep an eye on it. It really hadn't moved. There it is at 9:15. Okay, so there was the move at 9:15, and I was saying keep an eye on this one because it did have some room. If you look at the weekly chart, yeah, you can see all this room up here. Okay, so I said, okay. If we are still in low float mania, then this could be the next one. So I ended up taking this trade at 320 right there, and I think it was on that candle right there, and then it zoomed up to 359. I actually sold some at 350.45, and it came right back very quickly. And I basically got a flat the next portion. And so it was just a quick one, but you can see what I'm saying. It did not sustain that beautiful trend that looked like it was going to be keep going once it broke over 3. It just didn't want to do it. There was one other one. I just can't remember what it was. Yeah, I just can't remember what it was. But anyway, so not so fast, I guess, on low float mania being here. We had a great Friday and a great Monday, but certainly not today. And why I say this is that for traders, not just myself and people in the room, but we've got a whole mess of traders out there in the trading universe. We're all looking at these low floats, and if we start getting into a situation where every day there are several, well, then people will pile in on them. But when this starts to happen, people will be reluctant again to start piling into these low floats. So anyway, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. I took a trade here in OGI. This was from my watch list. I got stopped out. I took a very little loss on that one. I think a 7-cent loss on that one. Just, this is a cannabis play. Just really, I don't like these cannabis stocks at all. But I thought because of the daily chart or the weekly chart, it's the same sort of thing. It has room, if it wants to run. And I think I've noticed it's had a couple of upgrades and all, but it just didn't work out. And then the other one that I'm again, why do I have stops? So look at TK. I was waiting on TK to break 5 all day yesterday, and it didn't do it. It finally did it today. I took the trade at 509 right here. It did pop up to 514, look really good. Again, looking on the daily chart, it's got room till about, I think, 650 or so. But then it fell. I took literally a 5 cent loss, and then look what it did. Now, it looks like most of the tankers are finally, yeah, I mean, look at Frontline. NNA was still strong earlier today, and now it's falling. So it looks like maybe the tankers, they've had their day in the sun. Well, several days in the sun, I guess. After it's been about a week that they've been very strong, but it looks like that could be over now. And let's see what else. That's about it. Just trying to see if there's anything else that caught my eye. I mean, there were some really big moves. I mean, RETA, not that I could get it, but RETA pre-market, big. I mean, it's up now 59%, up $60 on phase 2. It's interesting because this only has 20 million in the float. That's extremely low float for, even a $100 stock. And so that's why a move like this can happen. But on the flip side, if people finally want to get out of it, it can really drop quickly. Now, I am in this one from the AI. The AI's had a couple of interesting ones. I'm always looking at the ones, the cheaper ones that can give us the best percentage gains. I'm not in at 624. I'm in at 724. I'm in at 740, I believe. Yeah, I'm in at 740. So I'm just, I'm looking right here. This could be it, right here. That's what yesterday's, maybe a little bit of resistance from yesterday right up there. So, but a very, very nice move. I mean, it's a 7% move off the original alert, 724. Oh, I know the one. That's right. I forgot about this one, the WWR. That was the one. I did not get into this one, unfortunately. This was the low float one. It only has 1.6 million in the float. This is the one that ran in the pre-market right there. It had run so much in the pre-market, I just couldn't chase it. Once the market opened. I mean, I did get an alert from my list at 889, but I just couldn't chase this one. And now look what it's done. You see, so not a lot of follow through, unfortunately. For again, I think for people to get really interested again in these low floaters, something like this. I'm not saying it has to keep going to 20, but it should at least pause a little bit, but not have this very, very severe pullback on the same day that it moves up. So, but that was definitely the one. And I looked at the news release. They've received, what did it say? They received their first shipment of graphite concentrate. Whoop-de-doo. But anyway, that's what caused. And I really believe that it's only because, traders were looking at, okay, what's the next one? What's the next low floater that could move? So they look at that press release. Okay, well, at least it's got some news. And so they just everybody piled into it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if tomorrow we get a couple of low floaters. By the way, if... this is what I do. This is what I was doing in the pre-market. So I've got my pre-market active scanner, all right? So as I always say, the obvious one to scan on is the change from the close, just to sort of see which are the ones that are up the most, okay? Just to see, okay, and how much volume there is. But because we were starting to get some of these low floaters on the move, I will also look at my float column, all right, to see, and these are, that's obviously a super low float, 71,000. I don't know what this is, but, this is where I saw that. Now it's not even here. Oh, there it is, the PSTV. That's where I actually saw it. I saw, this is a low float. It really hadn't moved that much, though. It's not that it was up that much in the pre-market, but I had identified that, okay, this is a low float. Maybe this is the next one that traders will pile into. The WWR had already moved. So that's why I was kind of concentrating on this one, because it hadn't moved that much. But anyway, all I'm saying is that, this is what, if we, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but it's always a good idea to sort on the low float column, just to check these out to see, because if you just concentrate on these ones, the ones that are up the most, there could be one buried down here that's not really catching your eye. It could only be up like 5%, which is still good, but it could be a low floater. So that's why I do this. I will actually do a sort on this column, the volume today. This is a great column to use in the pre-market. What this is telling me, for instance, let's just for argument's sake say I saw 81%. What that would in the pre-market, what that would mean is that stock has already traded 81% of what it would normally do all day long. So I will sort on that column to see, okay, great. Yeah, it's got lots of volume, but is it abnormal? So, I mean, if a stock is trading, 50% already, what it normally would do all day long, that is pretty significant. So anyway, that's what I use. And of course, this is available. If you want it, you can just ask me for it or come into the room into, it's in the scans tab. It's also in one of the folders that I have. So I've been using this for years. This is my go-to scan for the pre-market. And that is about it. So I'm going to close down this chart, bring back in the capture tool. If you have any questions for me, this is the email address you can use. This is a link for our free room. I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.